Hey, how's it going everyone? Don here, and welcome back to VR Gamer Dude. So today we are going to be doing a new VR headset review here on the channel, and I know it's been a while. I know I've been focusing on XR tech lately, but this one I could not pass up. So I want to thank our new good friends over at Play for Dream for sending out the Play for Dream MR headset. I got a chance to use this at CES this year, and I was blown away on the show floor. So I can't wait to get this thing out of the box, get it set up, get it tested, and then give you guys my thoughts. Let's go. Okay, so let's start out with a couple of things. I'm going to kind of do this in a little bit of a reverse order than I normally do because I want to get a couple of the negatives out first. So we're going to start out with comfort, okay? So first and foremost, what you're about to see through the rest of this review is not going to look like the headset that you just saw me take out of the box. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it was not comfortable in any way, shape, or form. I could not get the thing to line up with my eyes, with my sweet spot. Now, there's a reason for that. This was not designed for me, okay? The original intent, the original design of this headset, from what I understand, was for the Asian market. So it wasn't designed with chubby-cheeked Americans with high brows in mind. And because of that, it really just didn't sit well on my face. It didn't help to align my eyes properly. The other thing is that the headset does have a rigid head strap. So this is something we've seen. It's starting to become a kind of a commonplace thing in these higher end headsets like the Apple Vision Pro. I believe Samsung's Muhan is going to have a rigid head strap. So it is something I implore manufacturers to go away from. You know, we definitely want options when it comes to comfort. No head, no face is the same. You're never going to be able to design an HMD that will fit everyone's face. So always give us the options to buy third-party accessories, third-party face pads, third-party face gaskets, third-party straps, because otherwise you end up with Frankendream here. Now, I will say, after doing this is now the most comfortable headset I own. I mean, it is literally a dream, pun completely intended. I've retrofitted the Bobo strap on here. I've got the top strap from my Zyber. It is very comfortable. At one point I did have the back pad because it's a little bit bigger from my Quest, but once I put the Zyber top strap on here, I didn't need that anymore. So, you know, it doesn't look bad either. It's functional. It is definitely something that I highly recommend. Another thing, I ended up having to mod the controllers. You can see that they didn't come with any sort of you know, grips on them. They're very, very slick plastic, easy to just fly right out of your hands. They're also an interesting shape and size. So ended up having to make my own knuckle grips for those. Kind of a little caveat of doing that, though, I ended up inadvertently making them magnetically chargeable by using the USB-C to magnet adapters from my VITURE XR glasses as the holder for that, and you can see that works great. It doesn't put any stress on the USB port at all, because it kind of goes around the outer plastic here, and now gives me a MagSafe charging port for my controllers, and they won't slip out of my hands. So, all right, that's out of the way. Comfort is not good. If you are like me, you're probably going to have to mod this thing in order to get it to fit your face and your head, and to get your optical alignment just right. But once you do, once you get it where you want it, well, that's where the magic starts to happen. The next thing I want to talk about here is the display quality. So, and that's really the selling point for me of this headset is the fact that it is super, super crystal clear. I mean, I got to tell you, the magic that they're doing here is amazing. The micro OLED panels just pop. Colors look absolutely stunning. Blacks are deep, inky, true black. So all of your horror games, all of your, you know, space flight games, those are all going to look fantastic in this headset. Now, is it perfect? No. You know, again, there's always trade-offs. So, you know, we've got that micro OLED providing the inky blacks. Well, unfortunately, the optics here, really tiny sweet spot. Again, that's why it's so important to get it truly aligned with your eyes, you know, so that you can get that sweet spot perfect. It is very small, so you do want to get it in place and keep it there. You know, that way you don't kind of drift off. Even when it is aligned, because this is an eye-tracked headset as well, you tend to look with your eyes more than your head. And that will show off the fact that there is still some edge distortion in the lenses. There, you know, still a little bit of chromatic abrasion. So there are corrections for that in software, especially if you're like me and using their magnetic prescription lens adapters. You can go in and dial that in. That totally helped. There's also a lot of different settings that you can change in the headset itself for, you know, the different rendering capabilities. In fact, the headset just recently got the full 4K per eye rendering in the beta. Now, that does kind of transition me into another slightly negative point of this headset, which is battery life. Being that it is completely wireless, 4K per eye, micro OLED, you know, it's gonna eat some battery in general, but when you enable the 4K full rendering in this, it is even more so. I mean, I'm lucky to get 45 minutes out of the headset. Luckily, you know, I'm all for the age of the compute puck. I don't mind having one small wire running down to my pocket or something that I hold in my hand. So no big deal there. Just get yourself a really good battery pack. In fact, one that I do recommend for this is the Zyber neckband here. You can see just very short cord, hooks right up to the headset. It actually is enough to keep my headset charged while I play. So very cool there that you can use that as an accessory. There's also a battery bank belt that I've reviewed on the channel from our good friends over at Prism XR. You might give that a look. But those would all be great options to keep this thing powered while you play. So another area is sound quality, and you know, I'm surprised that these little tiny speakers coming out of the strap can make that much audio. And let me tell you, this thing sounds fantastic when you are watching a movie, when you are, you know, playing back one of the spatial recordings that you made. The microphones are decent, the audio quality is decent, as it is with all of these head strap audio systems. Though I do wish it was louder. I wish there was a little bit more punchiness to the bass. Definitely much better than my Quest 3 though. It has a much more premium audio quality. However, another mod that I've done, I don't have it on there right now, but as you can see from this image, I have modded my Logitech Chorus speakers onto the device, and it is absolutely fantastic having that valve style off-ear audio, you know, filling the room. I mean, it just really, you can hear a pin drop like behind you. The spatial 3D audio is fantastic on the headset by itself, but add something like that and it's next level. So I guess that really, you know, the last thing to talk about here is how did it perform in games? And, you know, I've tested it extensively over the last 3 weeks. You know, I've been doing a lot of simulator testing, and I'm a big sim gamer. So I've been doing a lot of flying games like Flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 in this headset is truly a dream. I have been brought to levels of presence in that game, in the simulator, with the high resolution visuals that this is providing that I've never felt before. So for realism, it really amps up the immersion. Something about the ultra clarity or the ultra contrast that just really brings it home in this device. When I'm playing a first-person shooter, I can see things so far off in the distance. It makes, you know, getting that kill shot even more satisfying. So if visual clarity is your number one thing that you look for in a headset currently, this is the best I've seen. I've tried some pretty good ones this year too. I've tried Big Screen Beyond 2. I've tried the Migain 8K X Superlight. I've tried, let's see here. I've tried the Pimax Crystal Light. I have not tried the Super yet, unfortunately, but I did get a chance to try the Crystal Light. So far, nothing has compared to the image quality that I'm getting out of the Play for Dream MR. Okay, I think, you know, that about does it. I think, you know, final thoughts. Would I recommend this headset? Okay, yes and no. All right. It is not cheap. This is a $2,000 headset. There are some sales going on. Is that going to help your purchase? Maybe a little bit. Is it worth $2,000? If visuals are, you know, your number one thing, if you're willing to go down and drop $2,000 on a 4K TV, then yeah, you know, I mean, this is even better because now the 4K TV goes with you everywhere you are. You've got mixed reality. You've got, you know, standalone gameplay that is, you know, much better than Quest 3. You've got wireless PCVR, Virtual Desktop's new Monster Mode, which is just freaking phenomenal. So yeah, I would recommend this. It's not an easy pill to swallow though, guys. I mean, it is an expensive headset, but you want to play, you got to pay. And you know, you guys have heard me say that for years on this channel. Can you get a decent experience out of a Quest 3 with PCVR? Absolutely. Those pancake lenses are beautiful. The screens are no joke, even though they're LCD. It's still going to give you a great experience. Is it going to give you this kind of experience? No, absolutely not. I mean, if you're looking for the pinnacle, I mean, if you're looking for high-end PCVR, this is it. So I love it. Thank you again, Play for Dream MR, for sending this. I will use it every day. I'll see you in the next one. This is Don, signing off.